Alright, trying to continue the chapter 7, I believe it is, application and sanction for the RDSO and introduction of the machine. The RDSO shall apply an introduction machine different from also running any section of the division own railway for use of the own railway board through the Chief Commission of Railway Safety. Increase sanction maximum speed of the machine shall be retrieved with the introduction of new types of the locomotive rolling stock. Application should be accompanied by the diagram may be necessary. Give full particular axle load, wheel spacing, length of the buffer over the principal dimension of the machine with the sanction for the required provision specified speed certificate, final speed certificate of sketched by issue of the RDSO. Application shall be sanctioned, scrutinized by the cost commissioner and his recommendation thereof the submitted with the railway board of its orders. The machine have the different physical dimension for the different buggy design, menu design, braking system. For suspension, detail, axle load, track loading density, unsprung mass, different shall be regarded as new machine, provided any minimum change, minor change of the equipment design, change of the internal layout, equipment layout of the machine, minor change, axle load, minimum, minor change of the track loading density, or minor change. Change unsprung mass shall be regarded with the new machine unless such the change is likely to significantly have the affected weight distribution, center gravity, rigid behavior of the machine. Key to the difference between the opinion of the RDSO, whether or not any change of the modification will go with the new rolling stock of the RDSO shall through the commission refer to the matter of the railway board final decision thereon. Railway board sanction for the introduction machine. Railway board grant sanction provisional instruction introduction machine at provisional final speed basis. Recommendation chief of the commissioner of the railway safety. 2. Use of the machine with his own railways. General manager's own railway may sanction the use of the machine. Always introduce Indian Rail with a railway board. Any sanctioned division railway under this control. Proposal sanction general manager's own railway accompanied with such diagrams may be necessary. Give the full particular with the axle load, wheel spacing, length of the buffers, or the other principle that I mentioned. Rolling stock of the sanction required with the provisional speed certificate, final speed certificate, essays for the issue for the RDSO. Sanction of the railway board. Introduction of the machine. Increased speed, sanction maximum speed of the machine, calculation sheet showing the conclusions arrived, the external force of the stress calculation base. Stresses will produce the various bridges over the proposed rolling stock will run. Effect of the said rolling stock will vary with the structure of the trucks compared with those caused by the machine already in use by existing orders provided with the calculation stress sheets under the cause of the may show the allowance of the has been made with the section and secondary deformation stress with additional primary stress caused by external force relief of the stress has been also included in the modification signal travel communication installation necessity but the use of any chopper thigh resistor control system and approximately estimate of the cost of such improvements existing structure over the track use proposed rolling stock likely overhead and likely render necessary that concern railway over the immediate near future. 7. Certificate chief engineer of the chief mechanical engineer, chief of the electrical engineer, electrical stock of the concerned railway of the following performer, namely certified certificate. Speed restriction for kilometer to kilometer, nature of the speed restriction, brief restriction with the special conditions. 3. The certificate required shall indicate clearly specify the speed. The certified does not exceed the speed limited to the research design standard organization. The general manager's zonal railway should communicate sanction for the commissioner information 10 days in advance of the actual use of the machine over the railway. One type of the movement of the machine maximum permits for the limited purpose of the movement of the machine manufacturer work docks and destination or test point for the destination testing point back to the manufacturer's work shall be determined by the chief certified executive director standing the motive power council executive director standing track with executive director for the bridge and structures. Other concerned directors speed with the purpose shall not be higher than the provisional speed determined by the research design standard organization. Principal permissible describe the research design standard organizational subject to the approval of the principal chief of the engineer, principal chief the mechanical engineer, principal chief of the electrical engineer, all cases of the locomotive involved in the electrified section concerning all zone railways and those of the JSC. Which shall ensure the track of the bridge of the OHE and the sanctions concerning the suitable new stock like permitted. However, the new machine infringes Indian Railway schedule with the dimension axle loads more than permitted section. JSC duly designed with the principal chief of the engineer, chief signal telecom engineer, principal chief mechanical engineer, principal chief of electrical engineer. Case of the locomotive involved in the electrical section concerning the zonal railway shall deal. The issues prior to approval of the general manager shall be taken, and in such case, the commission of the railway safety shall be kept informed of the movement. No approval of the commissioner of railway safety is essential for the however the case that may be necessary to move the vehicle attached to the passenger carrying train. section of the Commissioner of Railway Safety shall be taken for each single movement. Each of the movement is not concerned with the joint safety of the certificate shall be signed with the principal chief of the engineer, chief chief of the mechanical engineer, Prince Chief, the operating manager, principal chief, single televocation engineer, principal chief, the electrical engineering, case of the locomotive involved in the electric applied section are committed to the CRS, the permission CRS of the permit of such movement of any in the special stipulations deemed necessary for such movement. Alright, infringement. The Railway Board, final safety controlling authority for the Indian Railways, final authority regulating sanction speed of the rolling stock of the Indian Railway Acts and permitting any vehicle, any Indian Railways, any dimension machines of the infringing Indian Railway schedule dimension should have the first condoned by the Railway Board in the application such condemnation should be initiated with the research design standard of the Chief of the Commissioner of the Railway Safety with the detail of the condemnation condonations of the old machines condoned with the schedule of the dimension of the 1939 new machines infringed the schedule of the dimension of 2004 are given in the annexure 77 of the machine wise. Alright, 712 special precautions while working in special circumstances work with the machines in GOT section. The following precautions are essential for the safety of the machine section involving steep gradients, sharp curves, deep cutting, high embankments, etc. GOT section means a part of block section by between any step of the Indian Railway route with a consistent 70% of the length of the water that goes through the hilly area with significant continuous grades and 1 or 100 steeper has been called GOT sections. The senior engineer, junior engineer, track machine shall have block competency certificate GOT section working pilot driver that having knowledge of the GOT section where the track machines has to work sympathy with the track machine. Braking, offering readiness, brake power, handbrake, and emergency brake shall be tested. Senior, junior, engineer, track maintenance shall not leave driving and work cabin the track machine in GOT section. Mule skids shall be kept readily while going on steep down gradient. Locomotive shall be attached coupled with the front leading direction track machine. Locomotive shall control all movements while going steep up gradient. Local should be detached coupled with the three-wheel train direction track machine direction. Local shall control the movements. Forking pressure track machine uncoupled loco should move along 25 meters away from the track machine. After completion of the work, track machine shall be coupled with the banking locomotive banker. Senior engineer, junior engineer, permission of the permanent way shall be responsible for arranging banking locomotive banker readiness for the track machine driver only with the cabin corresponding with the direction of travel except that during small shunting movements of the movement in the opposite direction can be done adequate precautions. Unit driver of the machine excessive speed with the prescribed speed with the section speed with being further reduced the overswitch of the speed restriction zones. Never drive over slopes, descending gradients without putting into the gear. Do not switch off gearbox key switch. Do not let RPMs of the engine fall below 1,000. Do not switch off the engine before the machine stops with the gradient section. Shift back to lower gears well in time to keep the ascending or descending gradients. Have special check with the DF gearbox oil level is working temperature. Ensure proper working pneumatic functioning all components of the brake system. Ensure availability spares, particularly with respect to the items that are for failure prone to transmission gear like carting shaft coupling, bolts, etc. available to the skid is must. Also, proper working of the horns and lights. B. Look out the trespassing, negotiating sharp curves and all sound horns on such occasion. Run through the movement shall be done in the convoy while running in the GOT section. Only machine shall be allowed to move for the running of the movement of the GOT section at a time. Night work of the machine work of the night. Suitable lighting and arrangement shall be done with the senior, junior engineer. Permanent way of the arrangement. Take care of the movement of the lights machine with the progress of the work also to be done. Our Annex 7.1 lists of standard forms starting permanent authority, defective signal authority passing on, defective position authority passing, shunt gate, signal on, shutting permanent indicators, caution indicator, nil caution indicator, order, minor caution order, authority to receive train on instructed line, authority to receive train on non-signal line, authority to start train on non-signal line, authority to start a train for the line with a common start train signal, authority to proceed relief engine train to be occupied block session, authority to open communication during total interruption communication on single line and section, authority working on the trouble trains during total interruption communication on double line section, authority temporary single line working on double line section, conditional line clear to take it up, conditional line clear, take it down, shutting order, authority pass automatic, semi-automatic, manual operated gate, signals other, authority to proceed without line clear with the automatic block signal territory, authority to block, proceed relief engine train into the automatic occupied block section, authority to pass automatic block system during the prolonged failures of signal, authority to proceed without line clear up, authority to proceed without line clear down, paper line clear up, ticket paper line clear, ticket down. Personal diary. And then Part 1, self-particulars. 2, particular experience with different types of machine. 2 pages, desirable. Years, machine, period, work remarks. Details, awards, achievement during service of life. 1 page, desirable. Details in name, refresher training course. Name, course period, time, date of course, new line. Training course, special course. A DZTC, training special DSR, initial refresher course, page 1. Preventive maintenance and PME, periodic medical examiner. Particular machine competencies. Particular load route learning signal particulars. Observation remarks inspection officials. Observation remarks inspection supervisors. Competency certificate. Pro forma machine ready memo number TM11. Pro forma block permit form number TM22. Instruction machine working automatic signal section. Infringement in Indian Railway Securement Division mentioned various track machines. Infringement schedule dimension 1939. Infringement schedule dimension 2004. Chapter 8, periodic maintenance associated infrastructural facility